Hi everyone, back again for day 2 of Facebook Lives going this week. Hopefully you were able to catch my story yesterday on the inspirational SAT story. If you didn't see that, please watch that because it's truly, I think, an inspirational story. I get goosebumps even just thinking about it again. But I wanted to start today, and then through the rest of this week, I'm going to be talking about how to tame your inner critic. And I talked a little bit about yesterday, but to really jump in today, let's just start by defining what the inner critic is, which you probably already know because we all have one. The inner critic is simply the voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not thin enough, we're not successful enough, we have no willpower, we lack motivation, we're lazy. All of those things, all the negative things that we think about ourselves is your inner critic, okay? So before we can start tackling that, we have to understand, I think, 3 things about it. It's important to understand where that critic is coming from. The first thing I think is important to understand about your inner critic is that it's actually trying to protect you. Believe it or not. It's not there to make you miserable, it's trying to protect you. I like to think of it, the inner critic, as being an overprotective mother. Not that I know anything about being an overprotective mother, but an overprotective mom that's maybe trying to put a bunch of bubble wrap around their kid, right? So their kids don't get hurt and don't feel sad and don't feel rejected and all these kind of negative, sad emotions. You're trying to protect your kid from that. Well, your inner critic is trying to protect you from those feelings too. Because if you don't ever try anything new or anything hard, you don't fail, right? And failing at things or being rejected doesn't feel good. So your inner critic, in a lot of ways, is just trying to protect you. Okay, second thing that I think is important to understand about your inner critic is it developed in childhood, whether you liked it or not. We all went through childhood with parents, teachers, other authority figures telling us things, probably not intending us for it to maybe sit with us for the rest of our lives, but offhanded remarks here and there. Oh, yeah, Sally's not very good at math. Maybe Sally's great at math, but Sally hears that and now grows up and thinks, oh, I'm not good at math. Therefore, I better not take any hard math classes because I don't want to feel like a failure. So, don't take that hard math class because then you're going to feel like a failure and I'm going to protect you from that. So a lot of those thoughts and negative voices we hear are things that we heard maybe in childhood that we didn't know any better and we kind of internalized and took in. And then the third thing for the inner critic is what I want you to start doing for the next 24 hours until I come back tomorrow to talk about this again. I want you to start listening for that inner critic voice, not listening to the voice and what they say, because what they're saying is not what we want to believe, but listening for that voice of like, don't try that. The New Year's resolution, don't do another New Year's resolution. Forget about that. You've tried this every year, you always fail. You're always going to fail at this diet. You're always going to fail for an exercise program. Whatever it is, you've tried it, you've failed, just give up. Okay? Start listening for that kind of talking in your head and just identify it and go, oh, that's the voice she was talking about. Because I will tell you right now, self-awareness truly is your superpower. It is everyone's superpower to be self-aware, because if you don't know there's a problem, you can't do anything to change that. So first step in addressing that critic is seeing it, hearing it, going, oh, that's the voice she was talking about. I said it right there, right then. Okay, don't do anything about it right now. We're gonna come back tomorrow and I'll give you a couple of steps, I think 5 steps of like how to introduce yourself to your inner critic and how to start a conversation with them and see if we can change things up in your mind a little bit. So come back tomorrow, and again, I'm going to do it, what's tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all through this week, and try to help you tame that inner critic down. Okay? Thanks everyone for joining in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.